Welcome back, everybody. You know what time it is.
It's time for another deep dive.
That's right. We're diving deep into some excerpts today.
From the 20th Word.
Yep. And we're going to be looking at how the Qur'an is...
eloquent.
Yeah. Uses these historical events.
Illustrate timeless principles.
Exactly. Yeah. We might even see how some of this stuff...
foreshadows.
Modern science.
Oh, yeah. Some aha moments for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what really stood out to me was how the Qur'an uses these, like, simple stories.
Yeah.
But then they have these really profound meanings.
Well, that's the thing about the 20th Word. You know, it's not just about, like, the events themselves.
Yeah.
It's the universal principles they embody.
Exactly. And that's what's so cool about it. And I was thinking about the example with Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Being taught the names by God.
Right.
And, yeah, I've always heard that it's about humanity's potential for knowledge.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And dominion over the earth.
Right.
But I was wondering if we could go a little bit deeper with that. How does this connect to the foundations of science itself?
That is a great question.
Thank you.
You see this ability to name things.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than just labeling.
Right.
It's about categorization, understanding like the essence of something.
Okay.
And then also its relationship to other things.
Yeah.
And this is really the basis of like the scientific method itself, right?
Okay.
It's observation, classification,
Right.
and then the search for patterns and laws.
So is the Qur'an saying that humans have this inherent ability for scientific inquiry?
Right, from the beginning.
From the very beginning of human existence.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And not only that, but it also implies a responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So if humans are given this power to name and understand creation, it suggests a duty to use that knowledge wisely.
Ethically.
Yes, ethically.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's not just about acquiring the knowledge.
It's about how we use it.
Exactly how we use it. And what are the ethical implications of that? And then the source also mentions another really cool example, the angels prostrating to Adam.
Yeah.
But Satan refuses.
Right?
I mean, on the surface, this seems like a very simple...
Power dynamic.
Yeah, power dynamic. Who's in charge?
Right.
Who's submitting to who?
Right. But it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
It speaks to the relationship between humanity and the material world.
Okay.
So the angels, they represent forces of nature.
Okay.
And they submit to Adam.
Right.
And this symbolizes humanity's potential to harness and utilize those forces.
Okay, so like I'm thinking like technology, agriculture,
medicine, all of that stems from our ability to understand and manipulate the world around us.
But then there's Satan.
Ah, yes, the refuse.
Refuses to prostrate.
That adds another layer.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Well, it's a warning.
Okay.
It highlights the potential for misuse,
right,
arrogance, you know?
Yeah.
Forgetting that our dominion over nature is not absolute. It's a reminder of the ethical considerations that we have to think about.
For sure.
As we, pursue these scientific things.
I love how the source uses that word pursue.
Yeah.
It's like an active...
It's a journey.
Yeah, it's a journey.
Constant striving.
Okay, so speaking of these stories, the cow surah,
yeah,
I have to admit...
it's a strange name.
When I first heard about a whole chapter named after a cow, I was kind of thrown off.
Yeah.
Like, what is this all about?
I mean, it's definitely a unique name.
Yeah.
But, like, with everything, the context is important.
Okay.
So back then, in ancient Egypt, cow worship was a big thing.
Like idolatry.
Yeah, widespread idolatry.
Yeah, and then we have this story of Moses.
Yes.
Who's commanded by God to sacrifice a cow.
Right.
And it seems like that challenges this idea.
Directly.
Yeah.
Head on.
Okay, so it's like this symbolic act.
Yeah.
It's a rejection of false idols.
Absolutely.
And reaffirming the one true God.
Exactly.
Okay, and it's not just about the historical context.
Right.
It's a bigger principle. Discerning truth from falsehood and challenging blind faith.
And seeking a deeper understanding.
You know, I'd never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
That we can look at these historical events in the Qur'an.
Right.
And find these broader universal messages.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion.
Yes.
Deeper and deeper truths.
So we've seen how the Qur'an uses these historical events to show us these principles.
Right.
But the source also talks about how there's this connection to modern science.
Oh, yes.
Specifically, this verse about rocks.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah, this one piqued my interest.
The miracle of rocks.
Okay.
This is where things get really awesome.
All right, let's hear it.
Verse 2.74 compares hearts to rocks.
Okay.
Which seems pretty straightforward at first.
Yeah, hard hearts.
Yeah.
Hard rocks.
But then it challenges that notion.
Yeah.
It describes rocks in ways that you wouldn't expect.
Right. It says that rivers are gushing from them.
Water issuing forth.
Rocks falling down in awe of God.
It's almost paradoxical.
It is, but that's the whole point.
Okay, I'm listening.
The Qur'an is asking us to look beyond the surface,
Mm.
look beyond our assumptions.
Okay.
Even rocks, these things that seem so inert and unyielding, can
Yeah.
be sources of life.
Okay.
They can be moved by a power greater than themselves.
I see what you mean because, we often look at the natural world as this like static, passive thing.
Yes, there.
But the Quran is suggesting that there's more to it.
There's dynamism,
Yeah.
responsiveness,
Yeah.
a deeper connection to the divine
I love that.
that we often miss.
And then it goes on to talk about these 3 tasks that rocks do.
Yes.
So first they act as the Earth's nurse.
They raise it
Okay. Then they facilitate water circulation.
like blood in a body.
Wow.
And finally, they serve as a treasurer
Oh,
for
sure.
springs and rivers.
I mean, these descriptions are amazing.
Yeah.
How they align with modern science.
Right.
We know about aquifers.
Underground water channels.
Yeah, plant roots breaking
Yeah.
down rocks to form soil.
It's all there
Yeah.
in this one verse.
It's incredible. And then we have the falling of rocks in awe of God.
Right.
Could that be connected to geology?
Well, think about it.
I'm thinking.
Earthquakes,
Okay.
landslides, the constant shifting of the earth.
Yeah.
The Qur'an is acknowledging these powerful forces,
Yeah.
attributing them to a divine will.
My mind is officially blown.
It's poetic.
It's theological. All at the same time.
That's the beauty of the Qur'an.
Yeah.
It invites us to engage on all these levels,
Mhm.
to think about the deeper meanings and to see how everything is connected.
The spiritual and the material world.
It's all connected.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm ready for more.
All right, let's keep going.
So we've seen how those historical events and even these verses about rocks can have those deeper meanings.
Multiple layers.
Yeah. But the source goes on to say that the Quran might contain hints about
What future?
future scientific advancements, like things that wouldn't be discovered for centuries.
It's a bold statement.
Is that even possible?
Well, think about it.
And
The Quran, from an Islamic perspective,
Right.
is divine revelation.
Yeah.
It's a source of timeless knowledge.
Okay.
So it stands to reason that this knowledge would include everything about creation,
Right.
including things that we might not understand
Yeah.
until much later.
So it's not so much about the Quran like predicting specific inventions,
No.
but it's more about pointing to the potential
Right, the possibility.
that await human ingenuity.
Yeah. And it does this
How?
through the stories of the prophets.
Right.
Their miracles can be interpreted as like signposts,
Okay.
pointing towards what humanity might one day be able to do.
Okay, can you give me an example?
Okay, so let's take Solomon.
Okay.
The Quran describes him as being able to control the wind.
Yeah.
Now imagine reading that centuries ago,
Okay.
before anyone even thought about flying.
Right. It would have sounded crazy.
It would have seemed like pure fantasy.
Right.
But today, we have airplanes.
We fly all over the place.
We've mastered air travel.
Yeah, so it's like the story planted a seed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our concept.
That wouldn't really make sense until...
Our knowledge caught up.
Yeah.
And it's not just the technology,
Mhm.
it's the principles behind it.
Yeah.
Solomon controlling the wind.
Right.
It shows us that we can harness natural forces,
Okay.
understand the laws of physics,
Mm.
and use them to help us.
Okay, so that's Solomon. What about the other prophets?
Yeah. Are there other examples like that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So think about Moses
Okay.
striking the rock to get water.
Right.
Back then it would have seemed like a miracle.
Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
we understand aquifers,
Yeah.
underground water systems.
Right.
We can get water from places that seem totally dry.
Yeah. It's like the story is foreshadowing modern hydrology.
Water resource management.
It's crazy how these stories, they're not just about the past.
Right.
They're relevant to our journey of scientific discovery, even today.
Yeah. It's a continuous journey.
It is. And then we have the miracles of Jesus,
Yes.
healing the blind,
Curing lepers.
even raising the dead.
I mean, these things from a scientific point of view,
Right.
they seem impossible.
Yeah.
But what if they're pointing towards the ultimate potential of medicine?
Okay.
A future where we can cure any disease
Yeah.
and extend life
Wow.
even further than we can imagine now.
So we're not taking these stories literally,
Yeah.
but we're looking at the message.
The deeper meaning.
Yeah. What are they trying to tell us?
The potential for human ingenuity
Right.
to heal, to restore,
To push the boundaries
of what we
think is possible.
Okay. And there's also David,
Yes.
he was given the ability to soften iron.
According to the Qur'an.
Right. And that might seem like a small thing.
Yeah.
But when you think about it,
Think about the implications.
iron-working metallurgy.
Shaping metal.
Yeah.
This is the basis for our entire civilization.
Yeah. You're right. Skyscrapers,
Yes.
spacecraft, everything. It all comes back to that.
Our ability to work with metal.
To manipulate it.
It's like David's story is hinting at this potential.
That's hidden within the earth,
That's just waiting for us to unlock it.
waiting to be discovered and utilized.
And more.
Yeah, so many examples.
The Qur'an is full of these stories
Yeah.
that can spark our imagination.
If we look at them with scientific curiosity.
Yeah, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
If the Qur'an contains all this knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
why not just say it directly?
Why all the hints and allusions?
Yeah, why be so subtle about it?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
And it gets to the heart of the relationship between faith and reason.
Okay.
The Qur'an,
Yeah.
it's not a science textbook.
Right,
It's
keep
a
going.
guide for life.
Okay.
It's a test of faith,
Mm,
a challenge to use our intellect
right.
to uncover the truths that are out there.
So it's about the journey,
The process of seeking knowledge.
not just getting the answers handed to us.
It's not about being spoon-fed.
Exactly.
I gotta work for it.
And this journey.
Requires faith and reason.
Okay.
Faith in the Qur'an.
Right.
And reason to interpret it
Yeah.
and apply it to our lives.
Including science.
Especially science.
It's not about choosing between science and religion.
Right.
They can work together.
They complement each other.
Yeah, both leading us towards understanding.
God's creation.
And that approach,
Yeah.
that combination of faith and reason.
It's so important.
Yeah, especially now.
With all the ethical challenges we're facing.
Yeah, you're right, because knowledge without wisdom,
Yeah.
scientific progress without moral guidance.
It can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
The Quran reminds us that knowledge is a powerful tool.
Like any tool, it can be used for good or for
A
bad.
hammer can build a house or it can destroy something. The
Exactly.
tool itself is neutral.
It's how you use it
Right.
that matters.
And the Quran gives us a framework,
For using that knowledge wisely
right? Stresses the importance of justice, compassion, humility.
and recognizing our place in creation.
Yeah, we're not the masters of the universe.
Yeah.
We're stewards.
We're caretakers.
Yeah, responsibility for the well-being of everything.
All of creation.
It's like saying that knowledge isn't always a good thing.
By itself now?
Yeah, it can lead to arrogance
Separation from the divine.
and ultimately, harm to ourselves and others.
It's a powerful reminder.
Yeah, we need to be careful,
Approach knowledge with humility
recognizing our limits.
and ethical responsibility.
And faith plays a role here
Absolutely.
because it gives us that moral compass.
The values in our scientific pursuits.
yeah.
The Qur'an says our actions have consequences,
Right.
not just here, but in the afterlife.
Okay.
And that awareness can motivate us to use our knowledge for good,
To help people.
to benefit humanity,
To think about future generations.
to leave the world a better place.
So we're not rejecting scientific progress.
Of course not.
We're just approaching it with responsibility,
Awareness of the consequences,
both the good and the bad.
the potential for both.
It's about aligning our scientific endeavors with a higher moral purpose.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
And this idea of integrating faith and reason,
Yeah.
it can actually help our scientific work
Right.
when we approach knowledge with humility,
Okay.
recognizing that we don't know everything.
Yeah.
We're more open to new ideas.
Right.
We question our assumptions,
Okay.
and we collaborate with people who see things differently.
So it's like saying faith can actually push science forward.
It can be a catalyst for progress,
It can help us ask bigger questions
find solutions that benefit everyone,
and look at the universe with a sense of awe.
and wonder.
It all comes back to that idea of the names being taught to Adam,
Right.
humanity,
Yeah.
with our ability to learn.
We've been given a huge responsibility.
We're caretakers of creation.
Stewards.
Yeah, and we have to use our knowledge
To make the world a better place.
to help people in need.
To build a more just and compassionate society.
That's a pretty big mission,
It is.
but it's also really inspiring.
It is.
It shows that science,
Yeah.
when it's guided by wisdom and compassion,
It can lead to a more beautiful world.
a world that reflects God's attributes.
Knowledge, beauty, and mercy
So how do we deal with those ethical dilemmas?
that come up as our scientific knowledge grows.
It's a question that's more and more relevant every day.
Yeah. Think about artificial intelligence.
Genetic engineering,
Even the way we communicate.
right? It changes so fast.
The potential for good is huge,
Yeah.
but there are serious ethical concerns too.
Yeah, it feels like every day there's a new headline.
About the downsides.
Yeah, jobs being lost.
Algorithms being biased.
Misinformation spreading.
Privacy disappearing.
Yeah, it can be scary.
So where do we even start?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Well, the Qur'an emphasizes wisdom.
Okay.
It's not enough to just have knowledge.
Right.
We have to think about how we use it.
Responsibly.
Yes, how we wield that power.
It's like having a really powerful tool.
Hmm.
Like we said before, a hammer can build or destroy.
The tool itself isn't good or bad.
It depends on the user.
Their intention, their skill.
Right. And the Quran provides that framework.
For using knowledge the right way.
Okay.
It talks about justice, compassion, humility.
Recognizing our place in the bigger picture.
Right. Not trying to dominate nature.
But being stewards taking care of it. And this idea of faith and reason working together
Yeah.
can make our scientific work even better.
It can. Well, when we approach knowledge with humility,
Okay.
realizing we don't have all the answers,
Yeah.
we're more open to new ideas.
Right.
We question our assumptions.
Right.
We're willing to collaborate with people who see things differently.
So faith can actually push science forward.
It can be a catalyst for progress.
It helps us ask those big questions
Find solutions that benefit everyone.
and see the universe with that sense of awe and wonder.
And it all connects back to Adam being taught the names.
Yeah.
Humanity with our capacity for knowledge.
Has this huge responsibility.
We are caretakers of creation. We have to use our knowledge to heal, to help.
To build a just and compassionate world.
It's a huge task.
It's daunting.
But it's inspiring, too.
It is.
It means that science
Guided by wisdom and
can
compassion,
lead to a more beautiful world.
a world that reflects God's attributes.
Knowledge, beauty, mercy.
It's a goal worth striving for.
And as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
What if the greatest discoveries are still ahead of us?
Oh, okay.
What if the most profound truths are still waiting to be found?
By those who approach knowledge with humility and boldness,
With faith and reason?
it's a good reminder that our journey of discovery never really ends.
There's always more to learn.
More to explore, more to understand.
And the Qur'an offers a timeless guide.
Yeah, a source of wisdom and inspiration,
As we navigate this complex world,
of scientific advancement.
so let this be a starting point for your own exploration.
Yeah,
Dive deeper into the Qur'an, reflect on its wisdom.
and consider how its message can shape your understanding of the world.
Your scientific pursuits.
Your role in building a better future.
A future that reflects the best of humanity.
That's a great way to end it.
Thank you for joining me on this journey.
It was a pleasure as always.
Until next time.